All right, we are live. Going to give everybody a minute to jump on. We have a lot of registrations for today's discussion, so I want to make sure we give people a minute to join the webinar so that they don't miss any of the content. Like I said, we've got a great topic for discussion today, a topic that so many investors on StartEngine have asked questions about. And StartEngine's made a lot of developments in the area of utilizing retirement dollars for investments on StartEngine. And so we wanted to have a conversation about those developments and provide education to our investors about what we've done and how they can utilize all of this. So as I said, I'm going to give people just a second to join here. We'll quickly introduce ourselves and go around the room so everyone knows who's talking today. My name is Josh Hamster. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at StartEngine. I've been at the company now for almost 10 years, and I'm located in Los Angeles, California, which is where a good number of employees are at StartEngine, as that's where our offices were based before COVID broke out, and we went remote since. So we've got people from all across the country now, and I'll let some of the others here introduce themselves as well. So Blake, do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course. So my name is Blake Weltman. I am a private equity associate here at StartEngine, focused on the private team. So our pre-IPO opportunities, and I'm located in the heart of Midtown Manhattan in New York.
Awesome. All right. The finance capital of the world. Tyler, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Tyler Whistler. I'm located in downtown Dallas. Been there for about 5 years, originally from the Midwest. I'm a vice president of sales here at StartEngine. I've been here for about a year and a half. I was one of the first hires on the pre-IPO platform, and I'm excited to be a part of the team and on this webinar. So thanks, Josh.
Awesome, Tyler. And James, want to quickly introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is James Monroe. I'm calling from Jupiter, Florida. I'm a senior private equity associate with StartEngine. I've been with the company for a little bit over a year now and love what we're doing and have a great company to work for.
Great. Awesome. So as you can see, we're covering the continental U.S. here, from the East Coast of New York and Florida to the Midwest in Dallas, and then the West Coast here in Los Angeles, which really represents the StartEngine team. We're really located all across the country, which has been great for us. So we seem like we've got a good crowd in attendance now, and so definitely want to get started with the presentation. And as I mentioned at the very top, this is going to be a conversation about how investors can utilize their retirement dollars for investments on StartEngine. Investors have been talking to us for many, many years about using IRAs and using 401ks to be able to invest in the offerings that we have on StartEngine. And it's been a very, very difficult, burdensome initiative to bring forth. And it's been a challenge for our investors to be able to use these funds to be able to invest on our platform. We've recognized that. And so we've worked really hard over the last several months to bring a more efficient process for investors to be able to utilize these types of funds on StartEngine. So that's what our conversation is going to be about today, is how do you set up these type of accounts, use these dollars to invest. We have about 30 minutes for today's discussion. And if any of you have questions, we definitely want to get to those as well. So there's a comments button here that everybody should see. If you click on comments, you can type in your questions. And then at the end of the conversation today, I'll go through those questions and we'll answer those for you. So right now, we're going to go through a few slides and provide some insight as to what we've done recently and how investors can utilize retirement dollars to invest. But please don't hesitate to ask questions, because we will make sure to get to those by the end of the presentation. So with that, James, why don't you take it away?
All right, so I'll be talking about how you can use your current retirement funds to invest in the private companies that we have on StartEngine.com. Most people are familiar with a typical IRA account through Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, one of the bigger brokerage houses, or their 401k that was set up by their employer. Those are all technically qualified retirement accounts, but they're not able to invest in private equity offerings like the ones we have on StartEngine and StartEngine Private. Those require you to have what's considered a self-directed IRA, and the pathway is relatively simple. You roll the funds from those existing retirement accounts, whether it's the traditional Roth IRA or the 401k, into a self-directed IRA that supports Reg D and crowdfunding investments. And then from there, the custodian is able to make investments into the opportunities that we have on the StartEngine platform directly on your behalf. Everything is executed in the name of your IRA, so then it maintains the tax advantage status. But the key point is that if you want to use the retirement funds for these investments, that it requires you to have that self-directed IRA custodian in place. And of course, all of the offerings are still subject to compliance and accreditation requirements for each individual investor. And then creating an account is extremely simple. You can either use an existing self-directed IRA provider if you've already got one of those set up with a custodian that you're familiar with, or we have integrated with a third-party custodian equity trust that enables you to create the self-directed IRA directly through StartEngine. If you're logged into your existing StartEngine profile, you can just add the investment account under the settings on the StartEngine.com. And just when you're going through the process, you can either select to use the existing self-directed IRA, which would then require you to submit documents from that account to make sure everything gets linked properly, or you can create a StartEngine IRA and choose between a Roth or a traditional account, depending on what kind of a retirement account you're going to be funding the investments from. Opening the IRA through equity trust and StartEngine integration is subject to self-directed IRA fees, which can range anywhere from $300 to $500 annually. But we will cover all of the fees if you invest $20,000 or more per year from the date of when you open the account.
So I'm going to be talking about ways to fund your self-directed IRA. So the first option is from a rollover 401k or IRA. And what that means is with a 401k, if you have an inactive 401k, meaning an older 401k with a company that you no longer work with and you are not contributing to, you may take that account and roll it over into a self-directed IRA and make investments through that account. Or if you have an IRA that you already rolled over, you may also use that account as well. So the next is from contributions from wages or self-employment. You may contribute up to the max into a personal IRA or solo IRA if you are self-employed, or if you have already been doing this, meaning you already have a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA, those funds are also able to be used for the StartEngine offerings. Thirdly is a transfer from a self-directed IRA. So if you already have a self-directed IRA, you may simply invest using the funds from those accounts and basically using the portal that we have set up where we will help facilitate the transfer for you. Lastly is certain retirement plan distributions. So what that means is if you're over the age of 59, you may make an in-service withdrawal from your current 401k in order to fund the account. 59 and a half is the age at which you have accessibility to the IRA funds without having penalty implications. So, here at StartEngine, we do everything that we can to try to make this as seamless as possible for our investors. So once you go through the steps of opening the account, as James had just mentioned, you can then go ahead and go into the settings page and go to your IRA on the StartEngine website and actually initiate the transfer right on StartEngine.
Okay, so what offerings are available on StartEngine? The easiest way to access the pre-IPO companies is to go to startengine.com/private, or if you're on the homepage on startengine.com, there's a tab at the top that says pre-IPO deals. There you can see all the current open allocations that we have and all the previously closed offerings that we had. And then we recently launched IRA exclusive offerings for 401ks and self-directed IRAs. So previous offerings that we had here at StartEngine included Groq. And so we're only allowed to have 100 investors in each offering. So if we create the self-directed IRA exclusive offering, we can open up another new 100 spots to allow more access for our current clients and investors here at StartEngine.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate you going through those slides and covering the topic regarding the retirement funds and how to utilize these funds on StartEngine. I just want to follow up on it and reiterate to everybody that this is something that StartEngine has invested a lot of time into to open up the access of these retirement funds for people to utilize on our platform. We've allowed IRA investments for many, many years. However, the process has been extremely inefficient. It's been manual. It's been working directly with custodians and uploading documents and paperwork left and right, all of these different types of challenges that was really frustrating for investors, and the experience was really poor. And so what we did at StartEngine was we partnered with a third-party custodian, Equity Trust, and we integrated a seamless setup and investment process directly on our website. And so now, if you go on StartEngine, you can create a StartEngine IRA account, which is partnered with Equity Trust. And once you've gone through and created that account, you can transfer funds into it, either from your current IRA provider or a 401k plan or things like that. And once that account has been funded, then you can go and use those funds and you can invest directly in offerings on StartEngine. And the experience is much improved from what it used to be. And the three gentlemen here, Tyler, James, and Blake, have all been working with investors, helping them to submit investments via this process, and they can attest that the experience that these investors are going through is much improved. So we're really excited about this, and that's why we wanted to have this conversation today, so that everybody is aware of what is now possible on StartEngine and how they can access investments via these funds. So we're getting lots of questions coming in, and so I definitely want to get to these questions here. And if you have more, please feel free to submit them, as we've got a good amount of time to answer them. So, first question here for Tyler. Tyler, can we invest from an Alto IRA account?
Yes, we do accept investments from Alto IRA. You can set it up. Set up your account on StartEngine in the investment profile section. So if you're logged in, you're going to hover over the person icon on the top right, and it will have a button that says use my IRA to invest. There you can create your IRA account. And once you create your IRA account, then you can do the rollover directly from Alto.
Great. So yes, you can either do it via Alto IRA. You could also create a StartEngine IRA account and transfer from your Alto IRA to that StartEngine IRA. Either of those options could work for you. We have another question here. Blake, can you explain the investment options again? Can IRA funds invest in all offerings?
So to answer your question, every single offering, no. I would say probably 95% of them you can. The reason for this is, as Tyler mentioned, we're only allowed 100 spots. So sometimes we have offerings for specifically post-tax dollars, and then we also have IRA exclusive offerings. And what you'll see on our website, an example of this is if you look at our Catalyst fund, we have 2 offerings on there. One of them is for IRA exclusively. They are very, very almost identical like offerings in terms of the structure and the underlying companies. But with the IRA, you would be able to invest only in the IRA exclusive. But most of our offerings, you absolutely can invest using an IRA.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, there was another question. Is IRA investing possible for pre-IPO and StartEngine private deals?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is. So they are offered for our pre-IPO and our private deals. And as Josh has mentioned, we've been working extremely hard on this to make this as easy as possible for our investors. And we found that a lot of our investors like to use their retirement funds for an investment into specifically our pre-IPO opportunities.
Yeah, and both Tyler and Blake mentioned this as well, but for our pre-IPO offerings, some of these offerings are only available with IRA funds. Some of the offerings are available. You can either use, funds in your brokerage account or, whatever it might be, IRAs, things like that. But there are specifically exclusive IRA offerings that are available. So there's tags and labels on the different offering pages so you can see what type of deal it is. But all of our pre-IPO deals are accepting IRA dollars, and some of them even are exclusively only available with IRA dollars. So James, a question for you. Is there a minimum amount or investment that is required with IRA dollars?
Great question there, Josh. So the minimum investment to use the StartEngine IRA, I believe, is $2,000 for our crowdfunding and Reg A offerings to have that transfer and that investment completed through equity trust. However, for each one of the offerings that we have on the StartEngine private side, the minimum can be anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000, depending on which company you're looking at and which offering it is. And then if you're using an existing self-directed IRA provider, that $2,000 minimum doesn't apply to those accounts specifically. I believe it's a $7,000 minimum for other outside existing self-directed IRA providers for any investment.
Right. And quick follow-up, James, for you. If someone's going to be transferring funds from their own IRA account into a StartEngine IRA account with equity trust, how long do those fund transfers typically take?
Typically, depending on if you have the cash readily available in the account that you're submitting the transfer from, it should be roughly a 2-day process from when you submit the transfer request, and then for equity trust to confirm with your existing custodian and for equity trust to receive the funds. It may take longer if you need to liquidate a position that you currently are holding in the IRA, and you would have to wait for funds to settle before the transfer can be completed. But you can do the entire process of submitting a funding request directly through your StartEngine portfolio, where you're able to submit a funding request to your existing retirement account all through the StartEngine website. And then the process goes through relatively smoothly from there.
Great. For Tyler here, can I use my 401k to invest?
Yes, you can use a 401k to invest in these pre-IPO offerings that we have available. You have to meet certain requirements. So if it's a 401k currently set up with your current employer, you can't after 59 and a half years old. But if it's already been moved out of your current employer, you definitely can before the 59 and a half year requirement.
Right. And that process is you transfer it from your 401k into a self-directed IRA account. And then once it's in that self-directed IRA, then using funds there to invest.
Yes, we can definitely get that set up, and we'll definitely streamline the process for all our clients to make it easy on everybody to complete these investments.
Awesome. Blake, can someone transfer funds from a Fidelity self-directed Roth IRA to a StartEngine IRA while still maintaining the Roth status?
Yes, absolutely. I think as James mentioned, one thing that you would want to be cautious of is making sure that when you open up StartEngine IRA, you're opening up a Roth so that the status is match, but you absolutely can still maintain Roth status. Just obviously ensuring that the correct type of IRA is opened.
Yeah, and there's two options that are available, as Blake just mentioned. There's a traditional IRA account, and then there's a Roth IRA account. So you just want to make sure that you're selecting the Roth IRA account when you are going through that process. And then, James, another question here: can one invest in specific companies like Stripe with IRA funds?
Yeah, you could definitely invest in a company like Stripe using your IRA account, but you would still need to make sure that you meet the accredited investor or qualified purchaser requirements for that investment. But it would be completely open to using either your retirement account or a taxable account for the Stripe offering specifically.
Perfect. A lot of good questions that are coming in here. So appreciate everybody for submitting those. Tyler, I don't know if you have any comments on this one, but what trends are you seeing in investors using retirement funds? Any guidance on portfolio breakouts related to that?
So it just depends on each specific client's needs where they're at right now. So if you have a few $1 million tied up in your 401k and you don't have a lot of taxable dollars to use, it could make sense to allocate 2.5% to 5% of that 401k IRA money into some of the private companies. But we can't use a cookie cutter approach. So it's best to have a conversation in a meeting with your designated PEA, and the PEA can make a recommendation on what you need to do for that specifically.
Perfect. James, I believe you went over this before, but it's probably just a good, we have a question on it and just a good thing to go over again. Are there fees associated with opening these accounts and using these funds?
Yeah, so how it works is there are new account fees, wire transfer fees, investment fees that are charged by Equity Trust. You can see a full breakdown of those when you're opening the StartEngine IRA account. You won't be charged any of those fees for the first 12 months of the account being open, which will give you time to complete $20,000 or more of investments through that IRA account. And then at that point, we'll cover the entire amount of fees that you would have been charged. And if you do not hit that $20,000 threshold, at the end of the 12 months, that's when you will see the fees reflected in your StartEngine IRA balance. Perfect.
We have a question here about someone was trying to set up an account, but was having some issues. And can someone help me get it set up? Yes, the answer to that is absolutely. So if you have any questions or you'd like to work with somebody in our team to help you set up the accounts, just reach out to private@startengine.com. Again, private@startengine.com. We can put it in the chat as well. And just reach out to that email address and we'll get you set up with one of the members on our private equity associate team to help you get the account set up. Also, our team will be following up with everybody that's attending the webinar today and reaching out. So if you want to just respond to your account manager, then they will be able to help you as well in setting up those accounts. So either reach out to private, PRIVATE at StartEngine.com, and then we can get you set up with somebody in our team to help you, or you can reach out directly to your rep and your account holder and work with that individual to help you set up the accounts. Great. We have another question here from Joel. Is this on the Schwab alternative investment approved list? Not at the moment, although it's something that we've been working with companies like Schwab and Vanguard and other big brokerages like that, is to have more partnerships and with these types of companies. So it's something that we're working on, but it's not on their current approved list. So we have another minute or two. Are there any final questions before we wrap up here today? Let's see. Blake, I guess last one here is, how does choosing a custodian or administrator work? And what should investors look for when selecting one?
Of course. So, I think when looking at custodians, how does it work? There's many different options out there. There's some of the larger brokerage accounts like Schwab and Fidelity. There's also, a custodian like we had mentioned that we work closely with Equity, called Equity Trust. Equity Trust, they offer, a ton of different alternative investments that, you may not be able to get on other custodians. And in addition to that, it just creates a different product platform based off, which custodian that you are looking for. But, at the end of the day, I think it's about, picking a custodian that you're going to trust and, know that they're going to have your funds secure.
Perfect. All right. Well, we're wrapping up here, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Again, if you have any questions or want help in setting up these accounts, reach out to our team. You can reach out to private@startengine.com and send us an email, and we'll get you set up with a member of our team to help you in setting up these accounts. Also, if you have a relationship with Tyler or James or Blake or Brendan or anybody else on the team, you can always reach out to them directly, and they can help you in getting these set up as well. But as I mentioned, this is a really exciting development here at StartEngine that we are unlocking. The ability to utilize retirement funds for investments into these private offerings. So there's a ton of engineering and development work that's gone into making it a more seamless, streamlined solution. We're very excited about it. I know that the private equity associates here have been working with investors daily, and they're very excited about what's going on here as well, as it really unlocks a whole new pool of capital to be able to utilize here. So a lot of great things happening. Again, I want to thank Tyler, James, Blake for their time and information. Really appreciate it, guys. And also all the attendees, thanks for spending some time with us here today on this webinar. And we look forward to speaking with you moving forward. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Well, thank you so much.